Does everybody live up to it? No, they don't. But what we want to do is we want to create the environment that is ripe for creating great disciples within our homes.
I'm so hopeful, Craig, about this next generation. One Hope's just done a really deep dive on alphas, on this emerging generation. I was just here with your team at Life Church and the YouVersion team as we're building out some of these parent resources. We just saw this amazing statistic that said that actually the most important voice in the life of an alpha, in the life of this generation of children, we would think with social media and like connectivity and all those things that we would see actual reversal. And it was super high in Gen Z, higher than millennials. Like the most important voice in my life is my parents. And we were like shocked. We were like, man, we thought for sure it would be social media or their friends. But actually what Gen Z said is, no, actually, I know what my persona is on social media and I know it's a false identity. So I know that those aren't true, authentic relationships. And I really need to hear from my parents more. They wanted to hear more from their parents. So we just came out with our alpha research, which just came out. And actually it's higher. I think it was like 62% of kids said that parents, and this is all parents, not Christian parents, all parents, the kids just saying parent is the most important voice in my life. Alphas was at 73%.
Wow.
So for me, that's just a prophetic call to Christian families. Like your kids are listening to you.
Yes, they are.
Your kids are watching you. And that 13-year-old boy that seems like he's not hearing one thing you're saying, he actually is. Does that give you hope when you think?
Well, it does. And it also inspires me to say, you know, like a lot of parents say to their kids, put down your phones. I think some kids are saying to their parents, Mom or Dad, will you put down your phone?
Oh, boy.
I mean, I am dead serious. I think that there are maybe as many parents that are addicted and disengaged in the relationships with their kids as there are kids that are being distracted by whatever their games and such. So I think that one of the best parenting tools is distancing yourself from overuse of technology, which hinders true conversations and intimacy and relationship and discussion.
You're really convicting to me. I think my kids called me out on it. Like just recently, my daughter, because I love grandparenting. It's it's the funnest role I have in my life right now. Like there's nothing that stirs my heart like being with my grandbabies. It's just so great. And so my kids don't live near me like you have the privilege of doing. So I'm like always bugging my poor daughter, like, when are the grandkids coming down again? Well, you know, when are we going to meet with them? And just recently, she was there with my granddaughter. And she said, hey, Dad, can I talk to you? And pulled me aside. And she goes, you've been begging for Zoe to be here. And you're looking at your phone and you're not looking at her face. Man, Craig, it was like, whew, and it was like a knife in my heart.
Right.
So I'm just so grateful for that call out. I think it's a prophetic message you've got for us. Like, let's be intentional about our parent. And that's what it sounds like you and Amy were. You were super intentional, but even a little intentionality around.
And we tried to talk about everything from early on. And it got really special to me when my boys were getting married and we sat down and we had deep discussions about sex. And not for years we talked about purity, and then we got into like giving them like really detailed advice that no one's going to give them about how to serve and love each other.
Boy, it's so interesting you say that. In our research, we found that was the one area that Gen Zers were not saying that their parents were their greatest voice was in these areas of sexual identity.
Well, they're not. I mean, everything else is going to try to be that. And so we tried to, from early on, just talk super openly and show affection openly. And so it wasn't some kind of big secret. It was just, we wanted to talk about it like a normal conversation. And it's crazy. My daughter got married, my last daughter, and she was telling me she was a little nervous about her honeymoon. So I was asking questions, and after she came back and she told me, Dad, it was really special. And I mean, really almost more detailed than I was comfortable with. But we had built a culture saying that what's honorable to God is something that we're willing to talk about here. And it's really fun when you can engage with them at every level, whatever they're facing, from a 3-year-old conversation to a 15-year-old entering puberty to a 21-year-old getting married or whatever the age is. And if you make those subjects normal early, then you can talk about them for longer.